Today in the hot seat, I have Gareth Wilding-Forbes. Gareth is the author of Essence of Time, which is a James Bond Playboy type story. And that was complemented by an ebook called The Nature of Love, which was ostensibly written by the hero from Essence of Time, Jonathan Hayes Walker. Gareth is now working on the follow-up to Essence of Time. At the moment, the working title is called Second Time Around. Hi, Gareth.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming along. And you also work as a presenter for Radio Blue Mountains a couple of afternoons a week.
I do prime time on for them.
For a prime time for them.
Yeah.
So you're writing and radio presenting, but that's not your background, is it?
No, I spent 35 years of my life as an actor.
Right.
I nearly said starting in Australia. I did, my first production was for the BBC in London when I played a schoolboy in Goodbye Mr. Chips.
The movie, Goodbye Mr. Chips?
No, this was a BBC recording.
Oh, right.
Then my mother was brought to Australia for an amazing sum of money, and I went to the ABC here and signed up to be a voice actor, and the first play I got was Goodbye Mr. Chips, again as a young schoolboy.
Oh my goodness.
And then years later, my wife and I, that was the first, she was the best one anyway, we went to London, and after I'd been there 2 months, my agent sent me to BBC to do a radio play, which was Goodbye Mr. Chips.
You must have felt like Groundhog Day.
I knew the play. Yeah,
you probably played every role by that
my
stage.
career actually started, I would think, professionally, when I was 14.
Right.
Although when I was in boarding school in England, I was in boarding school in England and in Australia, but when I was in boarding school in England, I would write, another boy and I would write very, very short plays, and we'd dash back from lunch so that all the day boys could buy tickets, and we had it put into an area where once you got in, you couldn't get out unless you paid. So we charged each one of them tuppence to see a play. We could make easily $3 or $4, or no, what you would call dollars, pounds,
Wow.
on a good day. That lasted for 2 weeks, and still some idiot went home and said, "Ma'am, Gareth Wilding-Forbes took my money," and she went to the headmaster, and I got into trouble.
As most enterprising young boys do, don't they?
One tries.
Yeah, one should try. One should try. So you've trod the boards in London and here.
Here, London, Ireland, America, yeah.
Yeah, and you've done a lot of TV as well. I mean, just looking at your bio, Coronation Street.
Yeah.
Z Cars.
Yeah.
Within these walls, Doctor at Large.
Yes.
Cop Shop. Cop Shop's an Australian one. That was a great show. I used to watch that. Neighbours. You've been on Neighbours.
I've done a lot of Neighbours. I've married 3 or 4 people on Neighbours.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Always the same character?
No.
Every
I've
few
never
years?
played the same character twice for Neighbours.
Right.
No, but in the latter part of me working for Neighbours, I was cast as a specialist. I was either the administrator of the hospital, or I was a medical specialist.
Oh, really?
There's things I could tell you about that, but I better not, because it would upset people.
Yeah, please. Yeah, we don't want to upset anybody. So you've done Doctor at Large. You're a medical specialist in Neighbours. Did I also read somewhere that you did Young Doctors? Or was that?
I can't remember. I honestly, I remember
so
ringing
much.
your daughter a couple of weeks ago and saying, "Oh hell, I found another 2 or 3 films I forgot to mention to you."
Yeah.
I don't remember them all.
No.
Which sound, I mean, people will be saying, "Oh yeah, we know," blah, blah. But I don't. I've had an amazing time.
Yeah.
You know, like times of my life have been taken away. In 1972, I think it was. I spent 6 months in a place called Pitlochry in Scotland.
I had a kilt from Pitlochry.
Yeah. Well, I directed their theatre there, and with another director, we directed 5 plays. And when we got them all going, Monday they would do 1 play, Tuesday was a different play, Wednesday was a different play, and it was a lot of hard work, but it was fabulous to do.
Yeah.
But that kept me up there for about 4 to 5 months,
Right.
and then going back from London to check on it, you know.
Yep.
I was also a cruise director for 9 months with my wife.
Really?
sailing from England to the Canary Archipelago, which was Madeira, Lanzarote, Tenerife, and some other place. And that was fabulous. We'd leave London on a Thursday, and we would get back there the following Wednesday on 2 weeks later. So we had one night at home.
What does a cruise director do?
If I'm honest, I would like to say, oh no, I'm on air, so I can't.
You can't be honest.
But, well, a cruise director is, with a good company, he's got a fairly high rank. Everything that you did as a passenger for entertainment or relaxation went through me, and I had to arrange it all and everything else.
So would that include things like if they had art classes on board or a special speaker or something?
Yes.
So the cruise director organises all
You
that?
organise all that, and you're only answerable to the captain.
Oh, okay.
But it brought on certain things. I mean, I remember one night, Patricia and I were asleep because my wife was on board. She was one of the entertainers, and we were asleep, and someone knocked on the door it was about 4 o'clock in the morning, and said, I can't sleep. Have you got anything that I can do? Games that I can play? I said, just wait a moment, go and sit in the lounge there. I'll be with you in a moment. So I was very slow at getting dressed. Why the hell should I hurry for him? And I took him a pack of cards out. I said, here, go and play cards. He said, oh yeah, good idea. You don't want to play with it? I said, no, I have a life. And over breakfast next morning in the restaurant, he came up. He said, the funniest thing, I got up to the cabin and went to sleep. Patricia said, don't. But cruise directors, it's a good job if you can get it. It pays well. Yeah. And you can have a good time. Yeah. Particularly if the company that you're working for, and this was a Swedish company, right. If they are generous, I had carte blanche on how much booze I gave away.
Not how much you drank, how much you gave away.
How much I gave away, because they knew I didn't drink then. Okay. And I think the best record I did was give away 60 bottles of champagne in one night. And it was good champagne. But we had just got over a very heavy night the night before of the wind and the thing. So this was a celebration, you know. Right. And people sort of rely on you. They can come to talk to you instead of those chaps in uniforms. Yeah. But at the same time, we had some chap had to be picked up because he had a heart attack, and the helicopter came in. We were off the coast of I can't remember where the white rocks are. Dover, off the coast of Dover, and the helicopter was hovering above. Blooming passengers were looking and laughing and talking and taking photographs. And I went to a deck office. I said, why the hell can't the guy get down? He said, because they're taking photographs. So I said, give me your bullhorn. So he said, what are you going to do? I said, none of your business. I said, ladies and gentlemen, the next person that takes a photograph that is disturbing the pilot of that aircraft will be taken to the captain. And then I gave them the bullhorn. They stopped. Yeah. And they were able to lower a man down, get the patient and get him off, and away they went. And later on, the pilot of the helicopter did send a message to the captain saying that's what should have been done at the beginning, you know. Yeah. So that's another aspect of what I did. And I directed. Yep. I love directing.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I love directing.
Do you prefer directing over acting?
Now, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, yes, I do. And then again, someone asked me ages ago, what do I prefer to do, period, and that is radio. Right. I love doing radio because at any one given time, you've only got one listener.
Okay.
You know, my program in Melbourne, I would play on a Tuesday or Wednesday night to 500,000 people.
Really?
But that was 500,000 single people listening. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
I've just got to. I used to have to be. Well, you know me well enough to know sometimes I put my foot in it, but I don't mean to. Oh. But I do. And
I empathise. I'm very good at it too.
But you've got to be careful not to in radio. You know.
Yeah. You don't find. I mean, if you're on stage, you've got the audience. You get some feedback. You can hear them shuffling their feet, or if they're bored or laughing.
But that's what I don't like.
You don't know.
I didn't like doing theatre very much.
Right.
I did theatre. I did a fabulous play in London for 2 years with people like Sir John Gielgud, Paul Eddington, Emlyn Williams
Yep.
in the cast. But I prefer film and television.
Right.
Because when you do something good and you hear the cameraman say, Christ, that was good,
Yeah.
you know you've done a good job because he sees it every single day.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pleased to say that's happened a couple of times. But, you know, you do a play and then the curtain goes down and you're all lining up and you're thinking, God, I hope I can get away quickly. Or you know what the audience are thinking. The older ones, well, they've done it so many times. What the heck? Or else the young guys have got taken their girlfriend out. Now, do I have to take her home in a cab or can I get away with a bus? Or, you know.
Yeah. The play's finished, they're gone.
They're gone.
Yeah.
And you can see it because although people are clapping, people at the back are getting out.
Yeah.
You know, and you think, I wish I could get out at that time, you know.
Yeah.
So some of the plays I was in, primarily overseas, I loved doing.
Yeah.
But if they'd said, do you want this to be a film, play, or telly, I would always say telly because I can see it at home.
Yeah.
Films you don't pick up on all the time.
No.
It was basically experience from my parents. Well, not from my mum, from my father. He died a month before I was born, but that's because he had good judgment. But my mother was also a well-known actress in London. She was a rank starlet, which means she worked for the rank organisation.
Okay.
They paid her a salary.
Yeah.
If they didn't give her, she did get films to do, but having her under contract, they could hang on to her without giving her any work.
Right. But they would
it's to
pay
stop her. Yes,
Yeah.
it's to stop another company picking her up. You know.
Mm-hmm. What was her name?
Which one? Oh yeah,
Your mother.
Audrey Sharp.
Audrey Sharp. Right. Well, okay, so your mother was Audrey Sharp, and yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't her theatre film name. I don't know what her film name was.
Okay.
No idea.
No idea.
No, I know my father's surname was Wilding, but I don't know what else was on.
Right. So now, I mean, you've followed your mother into acting, and you've had this all your life. You've acted or directed. You've been involved in that. Now, all of a sudden,
I won a scholarship to NIDA for the very first year.
For the very first year. So
Yeah.
you've been to NIDA.
Yeah, but at the end of the first, in those days, nowadays it's a 3-year course. In those days it was a 2-year course.
Right.
At the end of the first year, I went back to Perth for the holidays, hurt my arm, and I was in hospital for a little while. And that's when I got a letter from them saying that I had not graduated into the second year, and that was good because I had just been offered a contract with the Playhouse in Perth, which was the theatre company, to join them as a professional actor as well.
Right.
I didn't miss that second year because I was 19, I think, when I went to NIDA.
Mm-hmm.
I found that a lot of the things they were teaching us, I was thinking, why am I being taught this? I do it automatically, you know.
Oh, okay. So it came to you, it was something you were just able to do. You didn't. You didn't.
I'm glad I went. I met some. There were 32 of us in the first year, and I met some terrific people and some very good actors. Yeah. And that helped a bit as far as casting was concerned. Yeah. You know.
Yeah. So Perth. So you sort of had your teenage years in Perth. What was Perth like back then? I mean.
Oh well.
I mean, it's isolated now. It's
only because it hasn't. I think it's just reached the 1 million population. Well, of course, I hadn't been to any other major city in Australia, so I thought that Perth was very good, but it wasn't as good as London, where I'd just come from. You know.
No. The comparison. Well, there would have been no comparison. I mean.
It was a different country. It was a totally different atmosphere. Yeah. There was so much water, that blooming big river with all the water, you know. And my school overlooked that. And the one good thing about my school, I was in boarding school at Christchurch, and we were right next to MLC, which was really nice, because we could mix in the evenings.
Methodist Ladies College?
Yeah. We mixed in the evenings without permission.
Yeah. I can imagine. Yes. I can imagine what you were supposed to have been doing.
I don't know.
Homework.
Oh, that?
Yes.
Oh, God. Yeah. Oh. Well, I fizzed that. Oh, because I ran a business at school.
Another one?
Other than locking kids at boarding school. No, oh, okay. At boarding school. Yes. If you got lines.
We had to write lines out.
Yeah. I would do you 100 lines for a shilling, and I got so much business. I got another kid to help me, and then I thought, hang about. So I got, 2 kids to help me. They did the writing. I paid them a shilling, but I charged the victim 2 shillings. So I made a profit anyway.
Oh, you're awesome.
I also I'd gone down to the local village, like Hazelbrook or something like that here, and I went and I bought as much sweets. You call them lollies in Australia. Yeah. Sweets and chocolates and pens and things that you make pens sharper with. I just tried to put together anything that you needed in when you're in boarding school, and it was in my locker, and there was a lock on it, and I put the price up. You
had your own shop.
Yes, I had my own shop.
Going out to the shop.
And I remember going home. I learnt about money from my mother. Mean thing. Yeah, and I remember going home for lunch one Sunday, and I said, "Mother, would you lend me £20, please?" Without any hesitation, she got her purse out. She gave me £20. She said, "You're home again next Sunday. You can pay me £25." She meant it.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I forgot to tell her that the 20 quid she gave me in the first place, I managed to make that into 68 quid.
Wow.
I didn't tell her.
No.
Because she would have wanted some of it.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. I'll just go. I don't like talking about my mother. Pardon me. Excuse me. I will just tell you one thing.
Because you miss her?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, okay.
When she died, it rained for 3 days. God was so upset she got up there.
Good relationship, a healthy relationship.
Oh, yeah. I was an athletics sprint champion at school, which I was not showing off. I just ran quicker than anyone else. And it was in the 100 yards and the 220 in those days. And I was talking to one of the masters when my mother arrived for a sports day. And she joined and she talked to him, and I just stood there doing nothing because she'd taken over. Then when he went away, she said, "Gareth, from now on you can call me Audrey." I said, instead of mother. Never mum, it was always mother.
Oh, mother.
I said, "Yes, mother. Why?" She said, "You're 6 feet tall, you're 12 years of age, and you're cramping my style." She meant it. Honestly, yeah. If my stepfather had died, she would have given him a hell of a good funeral just to see what other men turned up that were available.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You think that's funny? I used to use this material in my cabaret act. When I was born, the first thing that if I knew what the hell was happening that I would have heard, and she told me this, was my mother saying, "Oh, God, take him back. He's been used before." Yep. She wouldn't register me she wouldn't have me christened.
No. Which back then would have been an issue.
Yes.
I mean,
she just had me registered. Yeah. I was christened 6 months later.
Yeah.
But she said...
Was she actually married to your father?
Yeah. But she didn't have me christened because she said I looked much better 6 months later.
Oh, so it was about how her baby looked. She didn't want...
She didn't want to have to show people this that she'd had.
Oh, good grief!
Oh yeah, my mother was very thoughtful.
Wasn't she just?
Yeah. The only good piece of advice I can remember her giving me was, "All right, if you're going to be an actor, remember to be nice to people as you go up the ladder." Yes, mother, because you're going to pass them as you come down again, and she's quite true. I bump into people now that I've worked with for many years, and I can only think of 2 people in the world that would want to get me in their grasps and do things with a knife.
Oh, okay. So you've tried to only upset 2 people, but that's good advice for anybody, really.
It is. It's important advice. I've got very few friends up here, which is a shame. I haven't been invited out to dinner anywhere at anyone's home. I haven't had anyone to my home for dinner. And as you know, I've had two massive accidents since I've been up here.
Yeah.
The last one kept me in hospital for 7 weeks, and I'm still getting over it. So I'm just thinking, well, maybe the Blue Mountains is not necessarily the place for me to be, but then I can write anywhere. So I have a lovely home.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate. I do have a lovely home. So I just sit and I write and watch television and talk to myself. Just shows I'm going balmy.
We all go sooner or later. And I suppose that's part of the problem with living up here. Everything, when you come from a city, moving here, you don't realise how isolating it is.
No.
Until you're here.
No.
Everything is kilometres apart.
And everybody looks at you. Your daughter said, it's very sweet, lovely. She's got taste. She said, when I arrived, she said, "Gosh, you look smart, Gareth." I said, "Oh, thanks a lot." Yeah. I said, "I'm going up to Coles to Katoomba to do the weekend shopping when I finish here." And then I suddenly thought, "Oh God, I'll be walking through Coles and people will look because I'm the only person there with a tie on." Yeah. I've never seen so many men with beards on in my life, and some of the beards are ugly beards too.
So you've never had a beard?
Oh God, no.
No.
I don't. Why put something over what I think is perfect? No, I've never been attracted to having a beard or a moustache. I don't. You've seen some of the photographs from the shows I've done. I don't think I had. No, I've never had a moustache.
Never.
No.
So you shave every day, whether you go out or not?
Yeah. Oh God, yes.
My father was exactly the same.
Yeah.
Never, the only time you knew when my dad was sick because he didn't shave. And if he had a bit of stubble, you knew he was unwell.
Well, you never know who you're going to meet.
No.
Or bump into.
No, that's true.
You know, no.
Yeah.
Besides, you.
It's just.
I don't know a woman that doesn't put makeup on.
Okay.
Why do you put makeup on? To make the face look as good as it can be.
Yeah.
Well, we get a chance at that too, you know.
By taking the shave, taking the stubble
by taking
off.
all that garbage off.
Yeah, fair enough. So, just getting back to, just recapping, so all your life you've acted or directed or presented.
Yeah.
Now you're writing. How are you finding the transition?
Oh,
Why writing?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah, because, in essence of time, I think you'd better tell me because you know better than me. I think I killed 3 people. There's
Probably,
the Chinese man in Hong Kong. I think I killed 3 people. That's a lot of fun.
Is it?
Yeah, because if you don't like a character as you're writing them, you kill them.
So there's a question. Do you plot your book out? Do you know where it's going?
No.
Or do you just start writing?
I haven't a clue.
Haven't a clue.
I'm sorry, and a lot of people don't believe me when I say that.
Yeah.
I know what I should do. I know that the first 2 pages should sum up almost what the hell the book's about, and that's what I've done. But no, I don't even know what characters are going to be there until they arrive. And apart from 5 characters in this book, everyone else or every other character is named after a person that I know.
Okay.
And in most cases is based on that person.
Right.
They could be doing that job, you know.
Right.
The one that isn't based on anybody is my leading lady, the Anglo-French international model. Yeah. And of course she comes back into the next book. And the next one after that too. I'm working on this follow-up to this and I'm planning the next one.
Oh, so you've got ideas for the next one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I know what the subject, because the current book, this is based right throughout Europe.
Yeah.
The current book I'm working on is based on the IRA in Ireland, even though they don't exist now. No. That's what the world thinks, but the IRA do actually still have associations. So it's based on Ireland and mainly Liverpool and London, because the IRA are involved, and the place. The feature point on the next book is in the south of France, where they went to spend a weekend with Nerat. Remember Nerat?
Yeah.
Right. Well, there, and there was a lot of within that area of the south of France. There are a lot of buildings you can see used to be beautiful homes. They're now burnt down. Yeah. But I am going to be developing so that we find some money and we find silver and gold in one of these places, and
Treasure
that
hunt.
becomes treasure,
Yeah.
and that was historic. It was Nazi treasure put aside.
Okay.
So we're going to find it.
Awesome.
And then, of course, there will be some nasty people who resent us having it, and
Yeah.
we'll deal with them too.
Great.
And Ray will be in all of them.
Right, Ray, the Cockney.
Cockney, yeah. Hello, mate. How you going? All right then.
You're good there, Gareth. I can't do it as well as you. I shouldn't try. That's wonderful. So, so the current book that you're writing now, the second one, when do you think you'll Essence? No, that's
gone.
Second time around.
Second time around.
Working title.
When will I finish it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Being in hospital for 7 weeks and having to recuperate.
Yeah.
When I came home, pardon me, I didn't feel like writing.
No.
I really didn't, and it's only just recently that I've gone back to it, but I will concentrate now. But I've just sent it down to Melbourne to a very dear friend of mine who did the pre-read to Essence of Time.
Right.
When I was just putting it together. Well, she's doing a pre-read on the first half of this next book.
Yeah.
And she rang me and she said, I've read 27 pages, I like what I'm reading, but you've got a lot of work to do. And I said, what the hell, I've just written it. She said, no, you haven't written a description of the characters.
Right.
And I said, but you know them.
Yeah.
She said, yes, they're in Essence of Time. But
they're
it
not
doesn't mean everybody has got a copy of Essence of Time. So I'll be going in and rewriting those characters soon. That's not hard. That's about 3 days' work.
Right.
And then I will continue. And I went to kill someone, and he only got knifed in the back, because I suddenly remembered, once I'd done that, oh hell, I need him for something else. And although I can cut anything as you're writing it, but I don't like to. No. As I write, I have a pardon me, up here in the Blue Mountains, you employ her. I've got a very charming lady who reads my books, and she corrects anything like that. And I know that's going to happen, but I don't want to. Once I thought I'd killed this guy, and I've realised, oh, I need him again, that's when they sent him to hospital. And that's the gift you're allowed to do.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, Jonathan's a flirt.
I like Jonathan.
Yeah, he's nice, isn't he? Yeah, I based him on me.
No.
Because Jonathan was flirting with his current girlfriend when he was still waiting for his partner from Melbourne to come over and join him in remember?
That's right, he was
yeah.
too.
Well, he's not flirting anymore. He's a good guy.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
At the moment, I haven't done anything else.
No, I think he's got to be sort of still on the right side of morally good. Otherwise, you lose your reader, don't you? I mean, if they're too.
A very well-known author who's unfortunately dead now. We were having dinner together years ago, and he said, "How do you decide about what you put in your book?" I said, "I don't know. I just write the damn things." Because I had written a series of books in America. I said, "I just write the damn things." He said, "Let me give you some advice. 60% of your readers are women. Women like romance and sex in a book. Make sure yours has both."
Yeah.
Well, I think I put a lot in there, didn't I?
You did. So there's a question. As a father, have your daughters read your book?
They won't.
They won't. Because you won't let them, or they don't want
to? I'm disappointed that they won't. Danielle, my eldest daughter, would read it and say, "Oh yeah, all right, fine. How's it selling? Well, how much are you making?"
Right.
In fact, she asked me that very question last night. My younger daughter, she read the first 32 pages, and that's when it goes to France, and that's when the first sign of love. And she said, "I don't want to read anymore." I said, "Why not?" She said, "My father wrote about people making love." I said, "Well, let me just tell you, your father's had love, you know."
At least twice.
Yeah.
You've got two.
Oh yeah. And that's why she doesn't want to read my books, which is a shame.
Yeah.
They both read the children's books that I wrote for an American company, but and even then they said, "This isn't. You could do this. You could do that." Oh, for goodness' sake, will you shut up? I've done it. You know.
Yeah.
But no, I am disappointed that they haven't read it.
Yeah.
But then again, my friends here, I've got it, and they don't say, "Can I have a copy?" My friends ring up and say, "How much are they?"
Yeah.
You know, and they buy them, and that's pleasing as well.
That's good.
And now that so many people have got those little I don't know what they call
Oh, well,
iPads.
iPad, Kindle, tablet,
Yeah.
smartphone,
Yeah.
depending on what
I don't have one.
No.
But now that so many people have got those, they know they can get the book much cheaper.
That's right. So you can get Gareth's book, Essence of Time, and also Jonathan Hayes Walker's book, The Nature of Love.
Yes.
Both available on Amazon for Kindle. Essence of Time is also available in print, and both books are available as ebooks through your favourite ebook retailer.
Yes, and please buy them. I'm sure all the everyone else that's been interviewed for this program has been terribly nice and hasn't asked. Listen, I do this to make money. It's my living. Do you want me to go poor? But it's nice to speak to you through Jennifer and the charming people who are working on this. And when I finish, I'm the last one for the day, you see. So when I'm finished, I go, oh, thank God that's over.
Gareth, thank you very much for coming in.
It's been my pleasure.
Lovely to talk to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.